Hello and welcome to another episode of Goa 365 Story Beyond the Story. Now we have been extremely busy, tied up, involved, hassled, pushed to a corner, late nights with the just finished assembly session. The Lok Sabha session also, the parliament session also was there, the local assembly session also was there, and it's been all politics and politics and politics. In between that were the red alerts, it rained and it flooded, Goa flooded, India flooded. You guys know all about that. So today we decided to take something which is as important but something little more connected and more closer to our hearts. Some people hearts, hates, roads, accidents, everything like that, and which was also discussed in the assembly. This is about stray dogs, the large, huge, exploding population of stray dogs and what's happening on the roads, how it's leading to accidents, how it's leading to, I don't know, whatever. So to discuss this particular issue, I have four people who are very much involved in this particular issue. They're taking care of them on a daily basis. And I would like to introduce them, starting off with my good friend, Sanjita Banerjee Rodriguez. Ma'am, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Second is Nicole D'Souza, who is also involved in feeding dogs, taking care of dogs. She's a dog lover. She has dogs at home and her full family is into, as you say, who's very close, dogs are very close to their heart. Nicole ma'am, welcome to our show.
Thank you so much.
Dilana Mampai from corporate representing Civic Society and an animal lover. Ma'am, welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me here.
Ashwarya Desai Sitsat, she's part of the animal shelter part. She picks up these dogs and then she takes care of them and then they sterilize them, the ABCs, as they will explain to you what they are. I also just came to know what it's about. And she will tell you what needs to be done and what are the problems that we face while they are trying to sterilize and neuter the dogs on the streets. Ma'am, welcome to our show. So Sanjita, I would like to start off with you. Give us a general overview. Now you have, as I said, you have also been from the political side, civic society. You've also been in corporate. You are in corporate right now, and plus you are in this. So what do you feel? Like what do you feel is the issue here? That everybody gets a bad name. Like today it's I don't know, I think Goa moves in cycles. Sometimes it's the humans that get a bad name, sometimes it's the rains that get a bad name, now it's dogs that are getting a bad name. Earlier it was like all the cattle and things. So what exactly is the issue? Why there's so much of friction that is happening, and how we can move beyond that?
Issue that I see today is an overpopulation of dogs, which is because there is not enough knowledge how to...
And humans also overpopulation?
I won't comment on that. So basically there is an overpopulation of dogs. This overpopulation of stray dogs is because of society not pulling their socks together. Reducing population or bringing population under control of stray dogs and cats is... The society has to lead it. It's not the shelter, not the government, not the feeder, not the catcher. It starts with a reporter. For example, I report there are 15 dogs outside my house that need to be sterilized. I may be sounding very Sanjay Gandhi-ish during emergency, but sterilization is the solution. So there has to be a reporter who works with somebody like you who has a voice. You amplify that so and so area has a issue. A shelter comes to you saying that okay, we are going to pick up your dogs, but you have to stand there and identify the dogs. So shelter picks up the dog, sterilizes, leaves it back. This is how everybody has to get together and get the population under control. Very important is the feeding network, because they know their dogs, they know what ails them, they know, oh, there is a new unsterilized male or female around. So it's not one man's responsibility, there's the civic society's responsibility. And this, we can achieve it. If all of us get together, we can achieve it.
But as of now, it has failed quite dismally, as they say.
It has, of course it has.
Okay. Nicole, now you come under, as of now, you guys are like bad bad people in society, because everybody blames the dog feeder. They blame them, but as Sanchita said, obviously there are, I mean, like most people say 2 sides. I would say there are 10 sides to any
Yeah.
story. So what do you feel is the issue? Because without you guys also there will be a problem in society. The dogs will go after, I don't know, humans because ultimately they have to survive.
Yes. So I've been feeding myself. I've been feeding animals for the past 8 years. I come from a family of animal lovers. My dad feeds in Kandal. He feeds around 25 dogs. I feed around 20 dogs. I have an uncle in Bombay that feeds about 30 dogs. Now, we don't believe in feeding without a purpose. Every feeder should feed with a purpose. The purpose being, you need to befriend the animal so that the animal is comfortable with you, that you can help catch the animal for ABC. ABC is animal birth control. So every animal that you feed it should be done with a purpose. It's not for your benefit, just to appease your conscience. Oh, I'm feeding an animal I'm happy. He's getting a full stomach and I'm happy. But it is to benefit everyone around us and for the animal as well. You need to feed them, to befriend them, to get them caught for ABC. After that, that's not the end of your job. You keep them healthy. If they have a skin issue, you treat them for it. Then they need to be vaccinated because they're out in society. They need to be vaccinated every year. So you feed them with all that in mind, that they become they're not your dog, they're still community dogs, and you need the neighbors and everyone to cooperate as well. But you feed with that responsibility in mind, that it is my duty to keep him safe, keep the animal safe. Now, speaking about just as feeders, we try to do that as far as possible. There are certain guidelines feeders should follow. Like my beliefs are, I don't like to feed in societies and housing complexes. I feed outside on a quiet street at the side, not near anybody's entrance. I try to feed when there are not too many vehicles on the road, because I believe in the safety of the animal as well, and not too many people walking around. So the animals, they get spooked very easily. So they can eat also in peace. So those are my guidelines I feed by. And also I believe, in the Constitution of India, the Article 51A, it states that it is the duty of every citizen of India to protect and improve the national environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures. So it is not only a feeder that is responsible, not only a shelter that is responsible, it is each and every one of us. Many hands make light work. So it is up to each and every one of us to have that compassion. If you cannot feed, that is fine. Don't stop a feeder. Speak to them nicely. Even they have a difficult time going out. We go through a lot of stress when we are out feeding. We are worried about the animals. We are worried about people coming with brickbats after us. So if you don't want to, be compassionate. Don't hurt the animals. You don't want to feed, that is fine. But if every person, even just a little bit of their leftover food was kept aside, we wouldn't have street animals going hungry. We would not have them malnourished. Also, they wouldn't go through garbage then. They wouldn't go through garbage dumps if they have full bellies. They go quietly and find some place to sit, and they sit quietly. That's all. They go to sleep. And that's the basic goal us feeders have, to keep them happy as well as keep them safe and keep everyone around us safe.
Ma'am, now this is from one side. Now you are part of civic society besides being an animal lover. So one thing that I'm also part of civic society in this way. But generally, okay, you can put me in that. Now, like what Nicole said is that civic society and even the feeders should not feed in societies, at the entrances, keep things. So this is something that civic society also has to give some sort of a consideration, or they have to also be considerate to the people who are doing a civic society on behalf of it, because we like it or not. Probably besides the Northeast, stray dogs are going to happen, because civic society also is to be blamed. You have dogs, unsterilized dogs at home, and then they are put out on the streets. You go to the Panjim market, there will be so many cats and dogs. You go to outside where people are feeding, they come and just leave the puppies there. So what you feel as part of civic society that society should do?
So it's very easy to say that things need to get done. You say somebody got attacked by a dog, or a dog went after somebody. Simple things that we can do is not irritate them. The basic, the live and let live rule. For example, if you see that there is a dog that's agitated or irritated, the least you can do, you don't need to interact with them. Just pick up the phone and call. If you can't reach anybody, you actually have an Insta handle at Pause Go Up. You can get onto the Insta handle, which is constantly somebody will respond to. Okay, simple things that you can do, like your newspapers, your bed sheets. These things, if you can take and give the shelter where they can use them for these dogs, and move them out if they are not well. Look after them, neuter them and put them back into circulation. See, the thing is, being responsible doesn't mean that you have to go down and physically being involved. Okay, that's the thing. When you think of dog, you think it's going to take you a lot of time to physically get involved. Being involved doesn't mean being there. Also means a call or a message. So if that bit of responsibility we realize and we start small, we will go big.
But also awareness among civic society is not there, right? Means people, as you said, like live and let live, right? So then kids are there. The parents should teach the kids, don't irritate a thing, don't throw stones at a dog. Like I've seen kids, they tie some bottles to the tail of a dog, and then they fire crackers at the dog. Especially during now, Ganesh is coming up. When dogs are around, there's going to be chaos because I know what happens at home. So outside, so all these things also society should also. What do you think society should do according to you?
I think simple, basic teaching at home. And then basic information that we can start from the grassroots level at schools. It's like what you learn at home is what you will do outside. So before we say that the animal is the one who is aggressive, we need to look at our aggression, and we need to start at home. Basic education at home goes a long way. We can start at home and we can start in schools. And thank you for this taking this up, because it's important that we start at the basic.
At the grassroots.
At the grassroots, yes.
Ashwarya ma'am, now you are involved with dog shelters, plus you are involved with identifying, picking up dogs and taking them the ABCs or whatever. So what is it exactly that this side of the dog taking care of stray dogs issue entails?
So if you talk about it from a shelter perspective, I've worked at the shelter for 1 year, and it is not only the shelter's responsibility. So when we talk about population, the overgrowing population of dogs and cats in the city, the stray population, most of that population, it comes from home litters. People let their animals go out roaming freely. The animals get pregnant, and when they don't want the puppies or the kittens, they are being dumped in areas where there are feeders, in areas where there is literally no way to help those animals. Sometimes even when the animal is born, just on that particular day, they just go and dump these animals. So a shelter is responsible for neutering a dog, picking up a dog, neutering it and releasing it back after whatever medication and everything has to be given to the dog. What people do is they do not understand how a shelter works. So they are the one who need to report. They are the ones who need to tell, just like Sanchita ma'am mentioned, that it is the people who have to report a dog being outside their house. If there are unsterilized dogs or cats in their locality, they have to be reported. A shelter cannot go everywhere looking for animals to neuter. So that is one major problem. Secondly, people have this wrong notion about shelters being sanctuaries. They think that puppies need to be taken in by shelters, but a shelter is a hospital. It is not a sanctuary. A sanctuary is where you keep an animal for the rest of their lives, or maybe till they get adopted. But in a shelter, the main motive is to get them neutered, to heal them if they are sick, or many such reasons. So health is the major motive of a shelter.
But then, where do these dogs go after that? Back on the streets?
So relocation
Should
is
they
not
go? Where
allowed.
should they go?
It should go back to their
Back
own
to their
area.
own house. Relocation is something that is not allowed even by the Indian Constitution.
But relocation doesn't work. The packs will move back.
Exactly. The packs, if one pack of dogs is relocated, some other dog pack is going
We'll fill up that place.
take that place.
It's dog migration, it is called.
Yeah, but now see, suppose if dog shelters are not are not the solution. So then dog sanctuary, as she said.
No,
dogs
sterilization is the
Sterilization
solution.
is the only solution, but when you look at it from a shelter's perspective, what people want from a shelter is that they want the shelter to take in each and every animal that they find on the streets, which is not possible. We don't have that large of a space, so that is not possible.
I don't think people really know what they want, to be very frank in this thing. They find it's a problem, and they say like somebody, I mean, from what I found is they're not willing to take responsibility. They just want somebody else to take care of
No,
it.
it's not only not taking responsibility, sometimes they take too much responsibility. For example, mother is there, pups are there, mother has gone to look for food, they
They
pick up
take
the
the pups.
pups and bring to the
Absolutely.
shelter. And then we, like mad people, have to go back to the road
Find
to
out.
see where is the mother gone, and then we find the mother. So Aishwarya used to attend night calls.
Okay.
There was a time that Paws would attend emergencies 24/7.
I see.
And after the shelter closed and we didn't have our catching team, she would go attend night calls.
Yeah,
Picking up the animal actually.
but why in the night you need to pick up during the day? It's not.
If
it's
there's an
not
accident,
possible.
accident
Ah,
cases,
accident.
accident
Accident
cases,
cases were
she used to pick
attended.
up the animals.
But pause is shelter shut down?
No,
No, no.
it's very much, it's
Then what do you think
thriving.
after the shelter shut down? Ah, okay.
After
Ah,
the shelter
yeah.
closes at
Close
6.
after the day.
6 o'clock.
Okay.
After it shuts for the day, she used to attend the accident cases.
Okay.
But we get a lot of these calls from people, a lot of calls, especially in the monsoons, of puppies being here and finding puppies here and there. So we just advise people, a shelter is not a place to take healthy puppies to, because a lot of sick animals there, they could pick up another infection. So where they are, make them a little makeshift shelter, find them a little dry place, feed them, care for them, deworm them, take nice photos, and we can help finding homes for them. But don't unnecessarily pick up from the street healthy animals and put in shelters, because a shelter is a place for sick animals to get well and be put back on the street, back in their own territory. And the only way forward to curb the population is sterilization, is ABC, animal birth control.
Sanjita, now this is one solution, but how can this solution be taken forward?
The other day we had a meeting called by the animal husbandry, and where we discussed numbers, and we realized that
After the assembly, sorry to interrupt.
yes, after the assembly. This
Afterwards.
was last week sometime,
Okay.
about 12 days back or so. So when we sat down and we checked the numbers, we realized we need 12 centers all over Goa doing ABC on war footing for the next 1.5 year. And when you say 100% sterilization, it doesn't mean that your dog population is going to die. 70%, when you say 100% success, which means 70% animal have been sterilized. So it's going to take 12 shelters continuously doing ABCs for the next year and a half
12 shelters only in a small place like Goa.
in a small place like Goa.
So how can that be done?
Why it can't be done? It's
Pop-ups.
very simple. It's very simple. All you need is light, electricity, and vets. So if we were discussing the other day, and I don't think it is not doable. Even places like your panchayat halls, which is closed, which has enough of strong lights where doctors can operate, and have 25 cages on their premises, you can start. These cages where post-surgery the dogs are recuperating, male give them a day and a half, female give them 3 days. They can be under a tent. You don't need an infrastructure like a shelter for ABC. That's the beauty. In good weather, when it's not raining or not too hot, you can even choose a very good tree under which you can keep 25 cages. It's not impossible if all of us come together, is my belief. We can make a difference. It is what I believe.
Okay, now I'll just to follow up. I just want to get back to Aishwarya. Now you are basically based in Tiswadi, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that now in Tiswadi, how would it be possible to do something what Sanjita is saying, sterilize all the dogs in Tiswadi or whatever, 100% sterilize? Is it possible? How is it possible? If it is possible, first, is it possible?
It is possible,
How?
but then we need a bigger workforce.
Okay.
Majority of the dogs that are sterilized in the Tiswadi Taluka are done by paws, and in PAWS we have just 2 vets who can operate maybe a maximum of 10 dogs to 12 dogs per day. So if the number of vets increase and there is a bigger space, so that those dogs come in, go out, the process keeps on going, then it is going to help. For that, again, the medicines, the suture material, there is a lot of thing involved.
Okay.
So the supply of that, it will mean that we are going to be needing more funds for it. PAWS already gets government funding, so if PAWS is doing it, it is going to not make a difference. Not make a difference as in the financial perspective is what I'm saying. They can handle that because whatever sterilizations are done, government is going to sponsor that money back to them. But if there is a pop-up, then we will need donations.
What's a pop-up?
A pop-up as in like Sanchita ma'am said, it is going to be like a space, even a panchayat hall or anything of that sort, where it is a new space and we don't have any funding from the government. That kind of a place, if you want to start up, donations is what everybody is going to need. It is 100% possible. It is not very difficult.
To avoid that, to avoid doing pop-ups and new things.
Wait. Panchayats have got funds for sterilization. This what you're talking about, PAWS is different. This is from the state government, it comes from the center. Panchayats have funds.
But they also need to give approval for that.
Who has to give approval?
The panchayat also has to give
Exactly.
us approval.
Obviously, approvals are needed when money is involved. Approvals are needed from everybody. Like even anyway. So panchayats have funds. Panchayats are the ones screaming that most of the stray dogs are in panchayat areas. Because I don't think many of there are in like city areas and most of them get run over probably. But mostly they are in panchayat areas. So this is not, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me. Money is there, but you're still shouting about stray dogs. People are shouting about stray
People
dogs.
are.
The government is shouting. It's reached the assembly now because accidents are happening. People are dying. I mean, whatever. It's a lot of. It's an issue.
It's a collective effort basically.
Yeah, but funds.
If you look at PAWS, while PAWS is supposed to be in CCP jurisdiction, okay, so each local self-governing body is supposed to have a sterilization unit.
Self-governing body means panchayat.
Panchayat or corporation
Or
or
municipalities, yeah.
municipality.
Yes.
While Panjim CCP is responsible for the Panjim dogs with PAWS, PAWS has gone beyond, out of compassion, and that's what PAWS Executive Committee believes in. So PAWS not only does Panjim, but it also does Donapal, Taligaon, Mirces, Santa Cruz, Ribandar, and goes up to Old Goa.
The pickup dogs.
Debar
Pick up, sterilize and
But
release.
veterinary hospital is also there, which is supposed to be free.
No, they don't
No.
do surgeries.
They
No,
don't do. They do
surgeries.
neutering and
They
all.
do
Of course.
surgeries, but it's not free.
It's free.
No, it's not.
Kampal does surgeries?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
But it's not free.
Veterinary hospital is not free.
No, you have to buy everything
Government?
and get
You have to get the
You have
medicines.
to.
and all?
Medicines
I
have to be
think
medicine, suturing,
Medicines
everything.
have to be bought.
medicines
Really?
have to
I
be
think,
bought,
yeah.
and even there is a fee for the surgery.
Really? This is news to me. I thought it was free.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Okay. Anyway, we need to go in for a small break. We in the next part, I think we'll move on to some solutions and problems you would probably face to find those solutions. Let's meet on the other side of this break. Keep watching.